Hi, this is Benjamin, founder of Farmagain. Today, we hear a lot about global warming. And what happens because of global warming? You see flash floods, shorter rains, and heavier rains. So, heavier rains in short duration leads to topsoil erosion. At the same time, the water that we get doesn't really flow down to the ground and refill the aquifers. So, if we don't refill the aquifers, how do we do agriculture with the leftover water in the aquifers? It becomes a challenge. Few weeks back, we must have read on newspapers heavy floods in Dubai and surrounding countries. In a very short span of time, the streets actually submerged. And these incidents are here to stay. It is going to repeat. And the experts have suggested that the pattern of heavier and shorter rains are going to continue. Very heavy rains in very short span of time is going to erode the topsoil, and also it is not going to help refill the water in the aquifer. And if that is a case and if that pattern is going to continue, we are really going to have a problem in agriculture because we largely depend on the groundwater. So, what happens? We are left with very little water, but we have to feed the world. The only option is agriculture as a field has to adopt technology. We all know about Grotron. Grotron predicts using artificial intelligence when the soil moisture will dry up, and also it will do a secondary prediction of when and how long to irrigate so that the soil does not dry up, and accordingly it will turn on the valves and pumps automatically and irrigate and keep the root zone moist. What that means is that there is no wastage of water, there is no indiscriminate usage of water. The water is used very diligently only where it is required. Only if we adopt a technology like Grotron, we are going to actually save water and keep it for future agriculture use. A few months back, we had posted a video from Karur where they had only 1 inch of water, and with 1 inch of water, they were able to irrigate about 10 to 15 acres of the farmland. And you can click on the link above and look at the video. Today, we are going to see a farm which has even more water scarcity. You can now see in the background the amount of water the farm gets. And with this, how much of land do you think can be irrigated? Maybe half acre, 1 acre? No. 10 acres of farmland is being irrigated with this water. How? Because this farm uses Grotron. To get an idea of how much water this farm actually has, look at this boy getting down to the pond, and you will get a fair idea. And with this water, they actually manage about 10 cows, and they grow roses, jamun, drumsticks, sapota, and a bit of fodder crop. And also they manage a small home garden setup. As you can see on the screen now, the actual main crops are growing well. The water scarcity is real. There is very little water for irrigation. So what Grotron does is it may not be able to give sufficient water to the plants, but it gives the necessary amount so that the crops survive. And you can see the ground. No single weed actually has survived. All of them have perished because of the extreme scarcity. And the trees, like I said, are doing fairly well. How does this happen? By two things. One, by proper drip irrigation design and implementation. And two, Grotron. These are the only two reasons how this farm is able to manage the plantations even in this kind of an extreme water scarcity. The caretaker of this farm briefly explains about how they manage this farm with this little water they have. It is in Tamil, but you can see English subtitles for you to understand.
இந்த கம்ப்ரஷனில் வந்து வர தண்ணி வந்து 3 நாள் தண்ணிங்க சார். இந்த 3 நாள் தண்ணியில் வந்து நாங்கள் சேமித்து வச்சுருந்து நாவல் கன்று, சப்போட்டா, ரோஸு, காய்கறி பந்தல் இது எல்லாத்தையும் மெயின்டைன் பண்ணிட்டு தீவன மசாலா இதெல்லாம் மெயின்டைன் பண்ணிட்டு 10 நாளைக்கு 10 மாடு இருக்குது. இந்த 10 மாட்டுக்கு தண்ணி தீவனம் எல்லாமே இதில் உள்ள தான் எடுக்கிறோம். ரெண்டாவது நாங்கள் 4 பேர் இருக்கோம். 4 பேர் ரூம் போட்டு இங்கே கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. அந்த ரூமில் வந்து இருந்துக்கிட்டு நாங்கள் குளிக்க சாப்பாட்டுக்கு எல்லாமே இந்த தண்ணி தான், வேறு எந்த தண்ணியும் கிடையாது. பாருங்கள், கொஞ்சம் 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 கொஞ்சமாக ஊற்றுறது. இதை தாங்க நாங்கள் சேஃப்டி பண்ணி வச்சுது தார்பா போட்டு இதில் தேக்கி வச்சு தாங்க நாங்கள் எல்லா சௌகரியமும் பண்ணிகிட்டு இருக்கோம்.
First of all, with Grotron, even if you have very little water like this farm, you can actually manage your crops, you can keep them alive. I mean, even in driest season like this, you won't let them die. And second, you have little water, maybe you have a larger land, and you cultivate only in a smaller portion because you think the water you have is not enough. But you may be surprised to know that because Grotron uses water very diligently, uses water only where it is required, you actually may be able to cultivate more land than what you do currently. So because Grotron uses very less water, if you also look at another point of view, the overall electricity usage is down. And why should I be worried about it? Because the process of producing electricity is also highly polluting. And the more pollution, more global warming. And it is a repeat vicious cycle. And when you reduce water usage, directly or indirectly, you're actually helping reduce emission and therefore, somewhere in some amount, help reduce global warming. Like I said earlier, groundwater is used most for agriculture. Because Grotron diligently supplies water where necessary and only when necessary, the usage of groundwater is brought down. The water sucking from the aquifers is actually brought down, and therefore we leave a good amount of water for the future generations and future agriculture. Some of you may have been impacted with the water scarcity in your farms. Sometimes maybe you are lucky, but few of your friends may have been impacted. If you know anyone like that, please do forward to them. And if you did find some information in this video useful, please like them. And we are also going to upload a lot of useful videos in the future. Do subscribe to our channel so that you get notified as soon as we upload any video. So until we meet in another useful, interesting video, see you, Benjamin.